To vanish without a trace is even more tragic than outright news of death. For the families of missing people, no stone must be left unturned until they find out what really happened to their loved ones. Some disappearance cases take a month to solve, others a few years. The most complicated and mysterious ones take decades to unravel. One of the most popular unsolved cases is that of Lars Mittank, a German national who simply vanished at a meadow near the Varna airport on July 8, 2014. He was 28 years old at the time of his disappearance. Lars is an employee at Wilhelmshaven Power Station, a company located in a small coastal town in northwest Germany. A dear son, adventurer, and sports enthusiast, he headed to Bulgaria to take time off and have fun with his friends. This is a photo of Lars taken just a year before he vanished. His mother, Sandra Mittank, knows that the chances of finding her son alive are slim. One false lead led to another. However, for her and the investigators still working on the case, the search is not yet over. The story started on June 30, 2014, when Lars flew to Golden Sands, a popular seaside resort in Varna, Bulgaria. His mom said that this vacation is the first of its kind, since he usually books diving and sports holidays. Most probably, he wanted to try something new and spend quality time with friends, so he gave a party destination a go. A short trip to a party destination didn't distance his mind from his passion, football. Lars is a fan of the German club SV Werder Bremen, and even while on holiday, he took the time to play football with the youngsters at the beach. He was described by the kids as a nice and sociable guy. Coincidentally, the 2014 Football World Cup is ongoing during that time. When Lars and his friends went to a bar on July 3rd, it is said that he got into an argument with 4 other Germans over football. The other men are reportedly fans of Bayern Munich, Werder Bremen's rival club. The night seems to have ended well though, since no accounts of violence were noted that evening. On their way back to the hotel from the bar around 4 a.m. on July 4th, some of his friends wanted to make a detour to the nearest McDonald's. Lars, who was into maintaining a healthy lifestyle, refused to eat anything from the fast food chain and said that he would just go straight to the hotel. However, his companions didn't see him when they made it back from the quick food detour. He just showed up the next morning with a horrible story. Lars said that he was beaten up by a group of men who he assumed were hired by the Germans he argued with at the bar. The supposed brawl with hired thugs left him with a ruptured eardrum and injured jaw. On July 7th, they were scheduled to travel back to Germany. Lars was still in pain and was concerned about traveling with those kinds of injuries. He decided to consult a general practitioner and was advised not to fly back immediately since it can aggravate his current health condition. He was also given a referral at St. Anna Hospital in Varna. His friends want to stay with him, but he insisted that they stick to the original schedule and fly home that day. He said he is fine on his own. After all, he has insurance that can help transport him home safely. Lars checked out of the resort at the same time as his friends. He took a cab to the Varna hospital, hoping to get examined by an ENT specialist. However, according to Lars, the physician mocked him and refused to talk to him in English. The specialist refused any form of communication with a foreigner. He wasn't admitted, but was prescribed an antibiotic called Cefprozil, 500 milligrams, and ended up paying 60 euros. A cab drove him to 2 pharmacies to buy him the prescribed 20 tablets. Then, he asked the same driver to take him to a cheap hotel. It's summer season, and everywhere else is full. Thus, he ended up staying in Hotel Color, a small, family-run hotel near the center of Varna. At this point, Lars' story took its most mysterious, bizarre turn. Shortly before midnight, he called his mom in Germany. He was whispering and acting very strangely. He asked her to wire him money, which Sandra Mittank accomplished immediately. Lars also asked her to call his foreign health insurance because he wanted to be sent back home with patient transport. Moreover, he expressed his troubles regarding the cheap hotel he is staying in. He even asked Sandra to cancel his credit card since the attendants may have copied it during check-in. Thinking of the possibility that someone is about to rob his son, she did what she was told. Lars was confirmed to have left the hotel shortly after the call, taking all his belongings with him. In the early hours of July 8th, Lars called his mother again. In a soft voice, he told her that he was being chased by 4 men and that he finally found a place to hide. He hung up shortly after that. After a few more minutes, he sent his mom a text message inquiring about the medicine cefprozil. In general, cefprozil is considered safe, with no detrimental side effects. Adverse effects are rare, but are feasible. Was it possible that Lars experienced dangerous side effects? Sandra didn't call him, thinking that he was still in hiding. Instead, she booked a flight scheduled just a few hours later. The plane was scheduled to leave Varna at 4:20 a.m. and set out to land in Hamburg at 9:45 a.m. Sometime that night, Lars was seen hailing a cab at the side of the road. A cab driver gave him a lift to the airport, despite already having a female passenger. Investigations would soon note the female passenger and taxi driver's claim that Lars's pupils were dilated. Dilated pupils are signs of illegal drug intake, brain disease, or eye injury. Why were Lars's eyes dilated? Was it because of illegal drugs or merely a result of anxiety? Was it cefprozil's side effect? He arrived at Varna airport before about 5 a.m. After a while, he called his mom and told her to send him cash via Western Union, a money transfer platform Sandra wasn't familiar with. Initially, Lars didn't know about Western Union too, but he said that he met a man from Bavaria in the airport who told him all about its reliable money transfer process. Sandra said that Lars was able to tell her the process clearly and thoroughly, even though the man was no longer beside him. This told Sandra and the investigators later on that Lars is still in his right mind. He is in no way confused or suffering from an aggravated brain injury. In a phone call following that, Lars told his mother that they still won't let him fly or drive. Was it because he looked so untidy, coming from his hiding place, wherever that is? Thinking that it might be the case, Sandra told him to freshen up in the restroom and just update her once he has gotten further information from the doctor. When Sandra finally acquired the Western Union reference number, he tried calling him again. His call was picked up, but all she heard was a murmur. She figured Lars accidentally took the call while tidying up in the bathroom. That was the last phone call her son took. This made her more and more restless and nervous. At 9 a.m., he entered the doctor's consultation room and was examined successfully. He tried prescribing him medicine, but Lars refused, probably because of his not-so-good experience with the antibiotic. The doctor said that his situation is not that bad and that he can fly. However, he needed to sign a waiver before he could take off. Lars signed the form. Subsequently, he felt a bit restless and asked to be excused so he could go to the bathroom. The doctor waited until he was informed that Lars had left the airport. That was the turn of events, according to documents. Though, contrary to these documented instances, the doctor said that a man wearing the airport uniform entered the room while they were talking. He stated that the arrival of the airport official made Lars panic, causing him to leave immediately. At this point, the truth became even harder to determine. The doctor proved to be so unreliable. He even changed his testimony 3 times in the course of the entire investigation. Furthermore, the accounts were difficult to verify since there were no cameras in the consulting room. Lars was last seen at the Varna airport on July 8, 2014, the day of his flight back to Germany. In this short footage taken in the early hours of July 8th, Lars was seen running away from the terminal. He stopped for a while at the entrance, but started running again across the parking lot. He was then seen climbing the security fence and headed straight into the sunflower field near the Bulgarian National Highway. He has not been seen since that unfortunate day. There are many theories associated with his bizarre disappearance. The plausible theories are grounded on the fact that he suffered a severe head injury and may have experienced concussions. Also, he may have experienced some rare side effects from cefprozil. Head injuries, concussions, and antibiotic side effects can all cause erratic, paranoid behaviors. The most common side effects of cefprozil are nausea, dizziness, restlessness, and vomiting. Those who have felt worse have noted unusual tiredness. What if Lars experienced worse than that, considering that he recently suffered from head trauma? Sure, he was able to relay the Western Union money transfer process efficiently to his mother, yet it's still likely that his condition got worse quickly after that. So far, no evidence points to murder. Is Lars merely suffering from memory loss and can't find his way back home? A Facebook page and a website were created for the sole purpose of finding him. Throughout the years, Lars's photos were spread not only on social media, but also in the streets with the help of thousands of flyers. Just this February 2nd, 2021, a new flyer was posted showing what Lars could look like today at age 34. For some people, these initiatives may no longer make sense. Despite that, these brave efforts can result in leads that can spark stronger hope that someday he will come back. In 2019, a truck driver from Brandenburg, Berlin, said that a male hitchhiker he took to Schildau looks very much like an older version of Lars Mittank. Turned out, the person was another missing individual from the United States. For many, including Sandra Mittank and the case's dedicated investigators, the end is far from over. There is no dead body, just as there are no new clues. Questions still linger. If he is still alive, where is he? If he's already dead, where is his body? What was the cause of death? Whichever part of the world you are in, keep your eyes open.